again, everybody. My name is Joshua Johnson.
And I'm Jun Lee.
And we are from Compass Publishing, and this is English Pop. Today, we're going to talk about one of Compass's newest releases, but first off, I want to ask Jun a question. Jun, when you were growing up, did you ever read comic books?
Actually, I read comic books all the time. I started at a very, very young age. I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years old. And to be honest with you, I actually still read them from time to time.
Yeah, me too. And in fact, when I was reading comic books as a boy, I usually remember what I read in the comic books more than what I remember reading in class because our classroom books were so boring.
Definitely, with comic books, just the whole picture, the layout, the way the story is told, it's much more fun, much more active. And actually, it made me want to be part of that book because of its action and excitement with it that goes along with it too.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what Compass Publishing was thinking when we created our newest book, an English course book called Hangout. Hangout follows a family from America called the Kemps throughout their daily life in a very natural progression so children can see how people behave in America using the English language.
We'll also be taking a closer look at the Hangout component and series itself. We'll be taking a look at the student book, the workbook, the digital materials that go along with it, and also provide teaching tips for those of you who are using it in the classroom.
Hangout also features a very important pedagogy, which is scaffolding. And I think Jun will talk about that a little bit later.
Yes.
So, Jun, are you ready to hang out?
Definitely.
Let's hang out. It's English Pop.
Hangout is a 6-level course book series designed specifically for elementary learners of English. This series follows a comprehensive language program developed around a CEFR-based curriculum. It showcases levels pre-A1 to B1. Students are guided by the Scaffolding ELT methodology, allowing them to progress from producing simple phrases to complex sentences in a wide range of topics, situations, and environments.
Now let's go ahead and talk about scaffolding. Now a scaffold is originally used when buildings are being constructed. As each floor or each level is being built, the scaffold runs along the side, giving support to the original structure. Now this scaffolding idea can also be applied in English learning. Scaffolding is designed to promote deeper learning by giving the students more assistance in the learning process. Now with scaffolding, there are going to be 3 main benefits. The first one, it creates an interest into the task. Now, as many teachers already have experienced, if a student is interested in the subject itself, you're going to see a lot more positive influence, interaction, and more participation in the task itself. Number 2, it helps simplify the task. With scaffolding, it allows the teacher to make sure the student actually understands the issue, the topic, or even the environment the student is being taught in. Number 3, it helps motivate learners to work towards their goals. And as a teacher, this is pretty much our final end game. We want to make sure the students are able to understand the task, apply the task, and start being more independent with the task itself, or all the other applications or homework involved with it too. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the student book. Each student book has 9 units, and within each unit, 16 vocabulary words or phrases are introduced into 2 separate sets. Each unit also features 2 grammar structures.
In the first page of the unit, Section A shows colorful images introducing the first 8 vocabulary items to the students. A simple monologue in Section B by one of the characters introduces the vocabulary structure of the unit in a situational context. Below, a follow-up activity has students listen to the 8 vocabulary items again and has them search for the vocabulary in the main picture. Section D is a fun song which provides an exciting opportunity for students to learn the target structure and vocabulary of the unit. We end the first part of the unit with a speaking activity in Section E. This helps to reinforce the learning objectives for the unit. Moving on, a review song allows students to produce the learned vocabulary and structure and is followed up with the comprehension activity below. A short reading presents the structure and vocabulary in a new context. A comprehension activity for their reading strengthens and confirms the student's understanding of the new vocabulary and structure. The unit moves on to implement speaking skills. Part A is a preparation activity which helps students prepare for the speaking task with puzzles, stickers, drawings, coloring, and more. Here, the speaking task will require students to share information about Part A and allow teachers to monitor their comprehension and use of target structure and vocabulary. The story section depicts a comic book style story which lets students follow the main characters in amusing situations. Notice how the natural language and situations are introducing the unit's secondary vocabulary set and structure. A comprehension activity in Section C checks students' understanding of the target story and focuses on the key vocabulary and structure. We then expand the story. Additional colorful images introduce the second set of 8 vocabulary items to the students. This is then reinforced with the follow-up vocabulary activity, which helps students recognize the key words. The picture-based substitution drill will also provide additional practice using the vocabulary and structure. The extra section below features an exciting chant to reinforce the vocabulary and structure. The unit theme of education is featured throughout the reading passage, which connects the theme, vocabulary, and structure with an interesting topic. Content Language Integrated Learning, or CLIL, and intercultural learning content are featured with a magazine-style presentation. Big, colorful images aid comprehension and provide opportunities for expansion activities. The comprehension activity on the Connect section checks students' understanding and reinforces new vocabulary. The Combined Skills activity incorporates listening and reading. Students listen and determine whether statements are correct or incorrect. A summary activity in Section D checks students' comprehension of the reading passage and provides the basis for an overall summary of the content. Hangout features a phonics sections for levels 1 and 2. This builds the students' spelling skills and ability to sound out words. The writing graphic organizer below provides a framework for a short writing project. Students can plan their project with teacher assistance and complete it on the portfolio worksheet in the workbook.
Hello again, everybody. The workbook provides additional practice with the first set of vocabulary and course structure, followed by the second set of vocabulary and expansion structure. Additional practice is also provided through listening and writing activities, both independently and while using a parallel passage. The workbook also features reinforcing phonics activities, a writing portfolio page, and a checkup section. Let's have a look. Taking a look at the workbook, Section A is a picture-based vocabulary activity which reviews the unit vocabulary while consolidating writing skills. This is followed by an awareness-building activity which helps reinforce the core structure. Moving on to Section C, students can take part in listening activities. These activities ensure students build familiarity with the vocabulary and structure in a range of contexts. Section D features activities that are modeled on major English assessment tests, helping build students' test-taking skills and abilities. A coloring activity is also included to stimulate creativity. Moving on to the listening, Section A features a short listening passage which presents the unit vocabulary and structure in a different context. Students progress from focusing on overall understanding to specific details after listening to the passage once again. The listening section is completed with a listen, circle, and write activity. This helps build recognition and awareness of grammatical structures. The writing activity builds students' familiarity with the structure of the unit and provides guidance through a wide range of activity types. The copying and tracing exercise supports lower-level learners and aids in building their confidence. Moving on to the next page, students will encounter fun games such as puzzles, word searches, and crosswords. This will help students to reinforce their knowledge of the second set of the new vocabulary. Speaking exercises are then introduced through key dialogue pairs, which took part in the unit. These dialogues are reviewed and consolidated through listening and writing activities. After completing sections A and B, students can move on to the listening and repeat section, which helps build automaticity and fluency development. The Connect section of the workbook starts off with another listening passage. This passage mirrors and expands on the intercultural learning content from the student book. Easy to understand activities assess students' understanding of the overall meaning and details in the listening passage. Additional phonics activities in the workbook will build upon the sounds already encountered in the student book. This is then followed by a short reading activity to build confidence with using the target sounds. At the back of the workbook, you can find the portfolio and checkup pages. The portfolio allows students to demonstrate what they have learned with a final output for the unit. A coloring and drawing activity lets students personalize their learning and help visualize it. The writing framework below assists students in creating a complete sentence and provides lower-level learners with additional confidence. The checkup section provides a checklist of the learning objectives for the unit. This helps students, teachers, and parents track what students have learned and monitor progress.
Class Booster for the Hangout series provides fun and easy-to-use reinforcement activities for learners. There are MP3 recordings of the passage for additional listening practice.
Do you have a notebook?
No, I don't.
A voice recognition feature allows students to practice pronunciation. They can then send their activity report to the teacher's email address, and teachers can check their progress regularly. ClassBoost is a free downloadable app available on Google Play or the Apple App Store. To access Class Booster, just install the hybrid CD that comes with the Hangout series onto your computer.
And teachers will love the digital classroom materials. This software can be installed with an interactive CD, which is included in Hangout.
Hey, do you have a pencil sharpener?
No, I don't. Shh.
They can prepare extensive classroom notes, create and manage classes for their students, view progress, email, collect homework, and receive class reports, preview the vocabulary, reading, listening, and writing activities, and download answer keys, MP3 audio files, and other useful resources. Thanks again for joining us for English Pop. June, we covered a lot today.
We actually really did, and hopefully you can see through our tutorial today, the book is actually really easy to use. We have a lot of resources, fun, exciting activities for the teachers and students to do together, and we can guarantee a lot more participation with this series in the classroom as well.
And if you have any questions, please message us and let us know. If it's something you want to know we didn't cover, let us know about it. And please stay tuned for future episodes of English Pop where we cover more levels of Hangout and other additional titles from Compass Publishing.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks a lot.
Hello everyone, I'm Jun Lee.
I'm Joshua Johnson.
And we'd like to thank you for spending your time with us watching our English Pop channel. If you like what you saw, go ahead and give us a like or subscribe to our channel.
And please leave your comments below and let us know what you think. And for all our users in China, please visit our YouTube channel. Well, thanks again for your time, and we'll see you again here next time on English Pop.
Have a good day.